We got a Paul Heyman video on The Undertaker, all the men that Brock Lesnar has destroyed over the years. No CM Punk anywhere to be seen, even though it would have made sense to show Brock killing Punk and beating him at SummerSlam last year. Punk lost that match. But I guess, he's kind of persona non grata right now in WWE, that they don't even want to acknowledge him. Because it's all part of the work, of course. Isn't that right? I really like this because the video focused on how much older The Undertaker is getting. This is the first time I think WWE has made Undertaker's age an issue in a storyline. Because, a guy like The Undertaker, you don't want to call him old. Everybody knows he is, but you don't want to call him that on TV. You want to build him up. He's this unstoppable force. Nobody can beat him. And now they're starting to realize that, okay, everybody knows that he's getting a little slower, he's getting a little older, he looks like my grandpa now, and we have to somehow incorporate that into the storyline, and I like that, because I agree with that. You can't ignore it. You may as well make it part of the story. Make him seem vulnerable. The whole thing with the streak is there aren't very many people who think the streak is ever going to end. Because The Undertaker is rarely vulnerable. I mean, he could take a beating in a match, but in the end, everybody knows he's going to get the pin or the submission, and he's going to win. And some people will just never be convinced otherwise, and I don't think the streak will ever end, but I like them to at least try to do stuff that plants the seeds of doubt, and so those people maybe would look at it and go, well, maybe Undertaker wants to lose, and maybe, he's handpicked this guy to kind of do the honors for at WrestleMania. I mean, it's hard because there are people who just will never be convinced otherwise, but you can try. So I appreciate them at least trying. And the other reason I like it, I mentioned this last week, if Sting is coming in, and there's no further update on Sting, I don't think we're going to have any sort of update on Sting until the moment he shows up on TV, which I'm convinced he will. But if he's coming in, you should do it at WrestleMania and have him help The Undertaker as a way to preserve the streak for himself next year. And it plays into the story that they're telling with him being a lot older. And each passing year, it's a lot harder for The Undertaker to win and to keep the streak alive. So, Sting pops up, a couple baseball bat shots to Brock, Tombstone, 1, 2, 3. Undertaker didn't ask for his help, but it's as though he needed help in order to, slay the beast. And Sting points the bat at him and says, you're next. I want to be the one to break the streak. So it all kind of fits together if that's the direction they want to go in. Speaking of Sting, I do have one update, actually. He's going to be in New Orleans doing a signing at WrestleCon the day of WrestleMania that afternoon. I think it goes from like 10:30 to 2:30, I think. So if anybody's going to be in New Orleans, you want to meet Sting and get a picture or whatever, that's the day to do it. He doesn't do too many of these appearances. I think this is his first U.S. appearance since he left TNA. He did that Q&A over in the UK, but he hasn't done much since, and he is going to be in town. He will be in New Orleans the day of WrestleMania, so there is that. Undertaker was also on Main Event this week, delivering a message for Paul Heyman to take back to Brock, and Undertaker sounded an awful lot like Batman, the Christian Bale version. Like, where is she? You tell Brock at WrestleMania he's gonna rest in peace. You tell him that. Actually, that sounded kind of more like the John Laurinaitis version of Batman. So yeah, this is like a John Laurinaitis. Imagine John Laurinaitis wearing a Batman mask. I imagine that's probably what he would sound like. Undertaker will be in Brooklyn this Monday. He did say that. Arnold Schwarzenegger and The Undertaker together in Brooklyn at the same time this Monday. That's one way to cut the crime rate around here.